always had some kind of hobby.
I love sports. I love to hunt. I love to fish. I love to train dogs. I love to see dogs go hunting and find birds, and for me to pursue the birds and get the game thing.
Some hobbies I don't mind, some hobbies I do mind. But you name it, he probably has done all of them.
I've done rocketry. I have competed dogs in conformation, and that's like a beauty contest. I have trained pointing dogs. The dog that I had was an English pointer. I've trained it. I joined a club, the San Diego Sporting Dog Club, which started me off into the hunting dog world. I needed more, so I joined other specialized, much more specialized clubs that go out and compete against the rest of the dogs that are competing in the whole United States. And that's what I wanted to do. I did that. I made a champion.
And he was in that for quite some time. He was really involved in that one.
After making a champion, and I judged them. I helped others to train their dog to maybe eventually make it a champion too. I have done Kung Fu and martial arts, and that one again is just a phase. I just wanted to learn how to do it.
You know, usually people have one hobby, but he's got a lot.
Computer programming, I done that. I love to garden. I love to plant trees. I love cherry trees. I hope someday that I would turn my whole neighborhood into a cherry blossom area. I've also gotten into falconry.
I forgot to mention he did get into bicycling for a little bit. Bought himself an expensive bike. But he probably rode it only once.
I love to fly fish.
Oh no, he really is taking this hobby seriously. Here we go again.
When I first came to the United States in 1968, I stayed at my brother's house in Portland, Oregon. And after about the first week in Portland, Oregon, we drove down to Grants Pass, Oregon. And their friends took us to the Rogue River. And at the Rogue River, I met this old man that was fly fishing. And all I had was a spinning rod and reel. And I kept watching him, and he knew that I was interested in fly fishing, that I was fascinated by it. So he was showing me how, telling me about fly fishing, actually getting me to use my regular rod and reel and pretend I'm fly fishing. He put a fly on my line, I threw it out, and a trout grabbed it. And at that time, I didn't have any money, so I couldn't afford to buy anything. I just had this cheap rod and reel that somebody gave me. But I said to myself, someday I would like to learn that. And after about maybe 25 years later, I said it's time. I could afford to buy me that rod and reel. And that is what I'm after now, to learn how to fly fish. It's kind of hard to find time now having a family, but still, that's probably going to be my last hobby, but that's the one I'm going to pursue, learn it well.
He always has to spend a lot of money on those hobbies.
The reel itself is almost $500. The rod itself is almost $600. The line, they call it fly line, that's about $60.
Oh my gosh. $1,500 for a stick? Piece of wood?
I cannot justify the cost. I just buy it just because. If I try to justify it, I would say, if I get what I really want, I wouldn't want anything else.
I guess just the feeling of having a nice pole that's expensive is just the thrill, I guess. That's what you feel.
You just have it. You have a line that won't stiffen up in the real cold water. You have a beautiful rod that as you cast it, you enjoy even looking at it. You take care of it better because you don't want to scratch it, or you don't want it to rust, or you don't want it to break. By the way, it's lifetime warranted. So anytime I break it, I just send it back and they'll replace it for free. So that is the difference. Maybe I'm paying for a lifetime material, but it is an equipment that you hand down to your kids.
He just gets so carried away, spends more time, more money on just reading and buying all kinds of books. Is quite an investment. All those books and magazines and equipment.
In order to fulfill anything, you have to first decide that nobody's going to stop you from learning whatever it is that you want to learn or want to pursue. And if you decide what you want to go after, you go out and get all the resources from books, videos, talking to people, talking to experts in the field or in anything that you want to know and know about. Learn everything you have to know on what you're going after.
Put your permit in your pocket or your wallet. Can I shoot you here? Weird. He's weird. He talks to everybody. He could be at the airport and he makes friends right there. He can talk about anything. Even if he hasn't done it, he talks about it. Talks like he knows.
It's just me. It's just being interested, loving to learn, loving to read, and seeing by watching TV, reading books, you see the accomplishment of others.
Oh, I'm happy he's having fun, and that's all I care about. I want my man to have fun. Some men go out drinking, they go out to a bar, they pick up women, and I know my man, he's fishing. He's right here with me.